Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the MakeCode Arcade Advanced stream. I'm Richard, at Richard on the MakeCode forums.
I'm Joey at JWanderl on the MakeCode forums.
I'm Shannon at Shakao on the MakeCode forums.
And I'm Vivian at Live Cheerful on the MakeCode forums.
And what week is it, Vivian?
It's Sucromon week still.
Yeah. So we're still working on our Sucromon game. And that's where I'm going to be starting off. So if you're just joining us for this stream, well, stick around because we'll probably do some stuff that's interesting. But you should also check for the other streams this week to kind of get context as to what we've been working on. So I'm going to show that off real quick. So far we've been doing the battle screen right here. I've got my Sucromon on the left and my enemy Sucromon on the right, Donutso and Caker, TM. And we have a few menu items, so we can do fight. Oh, whoops. There we go. Where they'll both take turns and do damage to each other. You can also try and catch it. And fail. And then, whoa, okay. Something happened there. Well, we'll try and figure that out later. And then we also have the ability to switch which Sucromon you're currently using. So I can press this and then say like, oh, I want to send out Coney. And there we go. Now Coney is there. And we can run, which doesn't do anything except make it say run. But anyway, we're not doing battle stuff today. Today we're going to be working on the other part of this game, which is the Overworld. So the place where you're going to walk around and then run into battles. And because I promised last week that we were going to do this, I have already imported our tile map that we made last week on the art stream. So if you're interested in seeing me draw these sprites, check out our stream number 70, I believe, which is where we kind of made this tile map. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to... Oh, sorry. What were you going to say, Joey?
I guess one thing to note, it looks like we're doing something different today because we're not in the beta editor, right? Like, what's with that?
Oh.
Why aren't we in beta?
That's true, yes. So we've been talking about how we're going to be moving beta to the released version of the site for a while now. And yeah, that happened yesterday. So we're not on beta today. We're just on the normal site because beta has moved over. So all of those fancy new features like functions with return values and Python and all of these other things are available now on the live site. Go ahead and try it out. If you find bugs, and you probably will, please send them to us on the forum or on GitHub, and we're going to, try and fix as much as we can. All right. So the first thing I want to do is we have all of this code right here to kind of start our battles, but I'm going to move it out for now. So I'm going to move out this start battle, and now we should just have a blank screen. Cool. And let's go ahead and start our overworld. So I'm going to set the tile map, but first I want to put this into a function because I'm probably going to be calling it a few times, which is going to be called open overworld. Joey, what's an overworld?
Usually in games, it's where you walk around and go into encounters, which are more things like the battle we have or just the shops or anything like that. Basically how you go from one place to another in the entire game's world.
Yeah. So there's a few different meanings to it, but Joey's completely right. It's like the world in between the battles in the game. Sometimes games will have multiple levels of this, like there will be a super zoomed out map and then a more zoomed in map and then a battle, like Final Fantasy. Sometimes we're just going to be having 2 layers today, though, where we have a world where you can walk around and get into encounters. So the other thing that we need to do is create a player sprite, and I'm not going to draw this just for the sake of time. But I'm going to make whoa, that was weird. I'm going to make a new variable called Overworld Player. And for the sprite, I figured we always use people, and I don't like that. And since we're in this mystical world that has dessert creatures, I want to use my favorite sprite in the gallery, which is the cat. Does anyone have an issue with that? Cat's great.
I was really hoping for fish, but that's fine.
I was kind of hoping for an angelfish too, personally, but you know, both of them are great.
We're not driving today, so we can't have a problem with it.
Yes, and also it doesn't make sense we're on land. But
I thought this was the Sucromon world. It doesn't have to make sense.
True. Okay, so let's go ahead and create our overworld player, and we're also going to, just for now, place them on top of a starting location. So let's go into scene and grab a place on random tile block. Where is that? Here we go. Change this to be overworld player. We have too many variables in this game. And we're going to place it on top of the door. Cool. And let's also make sure that we fix the camera. So it should be centered on the sprite. So I'm going to go ahead and grab our camera follow sprite and put it on top of our overworld player. Okay. So one of the, whoa. Oh, right. So what just happened there was I pressed a button and it caused the simulator to crash. And I'm getting this failed cast on null. And what that's telling me is that I probably, inside of my button handler, I am relying on one of the sprites that is created when we start the battle. And because that doesn't exist yet, the button handler is not going to work. So I'm going to drag these all over here, and let's see what's happening and try and fix it. All right. So we're calling move battle menu selection. And you know what? This makes sense because if I were to, you know what? Actually, I should have done this at the beginning, but let's go ahead and actually see where our exception is happening right now. I'm going to go ahead and press this debugger button, and I'm going to press a direction, and we see that it has stopped my game. So this is paused because I hit an exception. An exception is just something that stops the simulator and breaks your game. And it's highlighting this function here, so I know that this is where the exception is happening. You can't expand blocks while you're debugging, so I'm going to have to go ahead and close that. And if I look at this code for a bit, I can figure out what the problem is. And I'm pretty sure it's because this cursor isn't being created because we're not starting the game. So I'm going to go into my button pressed handlers and use the variable we created for keeping track of where we are in the game, which is scene, and only call this move battle menu selection if I am in the battle scene. So let's do that real quick. Just to save time, I'm probably just going to put that check inside of here. So that I don't have to put it in all these button handlers. Gonna go ahead and grab a comparison block, put it here, go get the scene variable, and battle mode is what the scene should be. And I'm going to change this to be not equals because I'm going to use one of the new blocks that just got added, which is return. This is going to make it so that our program stops at this point and goes back to the function that called it. So if scene does not equal battle mode, then it's going to return and not execute the rest of this code. So it won't get to the part that was causing our bug, which is this cursor part down here. So let's try that out. If I press keys now, I no longer get the issue I was seeing before. And let me collapse this back up. All right. So when we were talking about making this game, we wanted to talk about how we were going to do movement. And we wanted a particular kind of movement, which is snapped to a grid. So normally when we do movement, we just use our controller move sprite block, which, you know, automatically handles all of the button presses and makes us move in the direction we want. We wanted to show off a different kind of movement. And this one is going to be moving tile by tile. So each tile in our tile map is 16 pixels. So if we wanted to move down, we would want to move positive y 16 pixels to move to this location. And we also want it to smoothly animate between those positions because it'll look nice. So to do that, I'm going to create a function that is going to be called player walk. And it's going to take in a sprite, which is going to be the, or maybe just sprite walk, because I'm making this a little more general. It's going to take in a sprite, which is the sprite that's going to be walking, and it's going to take in a number, which is going to be the direction. All right. Now, anyone who has seen us do anything with directions before knows that I always like to say that I have a standard way of doing this, which is I assign all of the directions based off of the compass directions. So north, east, south, west, and clockwise. So 0 is going to be north, east is going to be 1, south is going to be 2, and west will be 3. So let's go ahead and put those cases into this if statement I just dragged out. All right. So the easiest way to do this movement would be to just change our X and Y position. So let's do that real quick just to kind of see what it looks like and see why we're not going to go in that direction. So if direction is 0, that means it's up, which means I want to change my Y by -1 tile. So tiles are 16 pixels, so it'll be -16. Let me go ahead and do the opposite direction real quick, which is down. So that'll be 2. I want to change it by +16. For 1, that'll be east. So that's +16 on the X direction. And then for the last one, which will be the opposite, it'll be change X by -16. Cool. All right. Oh, I'm not calling my function. Functions won't work if you don't call them. All right. So I'm going to call sprite walk on this Overworld Player sprite that I created.
You just passed it. Element O.
There we go. And let's go ahead and fix these directions. So up is 0. Actually, it's just matching these other battle menu ones. So I can just make sure the numbers match. That's why it's nice to always use the same convention. All right. Cool. So this works, but I don't like how it looks. Which is to say that it doesn't smoothly move. Everything just kind of jitters around as we move.
Yeah. If you move up into the house, that'll work too.
Yeah. Also, because if you change X and Y directly by more than a couple pixels, it's going to let you go through tile maps. So you can just, go through all of those walls I defined. So this is no good. We want to do a smooth movement animation. And one way to do that is by using our animation package. And I think this is something we haven't showed off before. Which is the movement animations and making your own string. So let's go ahead and drag out our movement animation block. And I'm going to create another variable real quick, which is going to be animation time. Okay, apparently that already exists. Walk animation time.
I think animation time is the one that we use for the moving, like hitting.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wasn't there that day.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
All right. So I'm going to set this to be 200 for now, and I'm also going to set it inside of this. And real quick, let's see what fly to center looks like. Cool. That's not very useful. So we have these drop down of kind of predefined animations, but I don't want to use any of these because they don't do what I want. Instead, what I'm going to do is go into our text category, which is under advanced, and I'm going to drag out a string. And this is a standard kind of format for defining these sorts of animations. It's called a path, an SVG path, to be precise. And if you look on the internet, there are many guides for doing this, but I'm only going to be using one command today. And that command is called line, and it's a lowercase l. So line takes two arguments. The first one is how far it should move in the x direction. So because I'm moving up in this case, it's going to be 0. And the second argument is going to be how far we move in the y direction. So I'm moving up in this case, and I want it to be 1 tile. So I'm going to make it -16. Let me go ahead and just fill out the other values for this. So if I'm moving down, I want to move +16. If I'm moving right, I want to move +16 for the x and 0 for the y. And if I'm moving left, I want to move -16 in the x and 0 for the y. And let's try this out. Cool. So whenever it sees this line syntax, let's kind of break down what's happening here. L means I want it to move in a line. The first number that it gets is how far I should move in the x direction. And the second number is how far I should move in the y direction. And this is just one thing you can do with this custom path syntax. You can actually chain these together. So if I wanted to, I could also do like L 1678. And now if I press up, yeah, we'll see. It does this crazy thing where it's moving 16 pixels to the right and 78 pixels down whenever I press up. So it's really powerful. You can do a lot of fun stuff with this, but I'm just going to keep doing our simple movement stuff today. All right. What's up, Joey?
I just remembered I think we can still move through walls with this, but that's probably fine. I forgot that we didn't end up merging that in.
Did that fix not make that fix didn't make it in?
I don't think it in.
Lame.
We can do something cute by making each one L0 -2 and then do it 8 times in a for loop, but that's gross.
Would that work?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Because it'll apply it to movement each time it attempts it, and then that will move it within the minimum distance.
All right, let's see. I'm going to have to
think
pause too. Yeah, so this is going to have to be 8. So 8 times 2 is 16. And I'm also going to have to pause for the walk animation time, which is 200. So this is going to take a while to move, but let's see what happens. Yeah, cool. That does actually work. Very slow. All right. I like this, though. So let's do this, actually.
So you probably want 25 in the pause instead of...
Yeah, so I'm probably going to take this walk animation time and make it much shorter. So 200 divided by 8 is...
25.
Yes. Oh, whoops. All right. So let's go ahead and do this. And I'm going to do that for all of our...
Wait, you changed it to animation time instead of walk animation time? Just before you copy paste all of them.
Good catch. All right. So this one is moving to the right, so it should be 0. Oh, it should be 2, 0. This one is moving down, so it should be 0, 2.
And for anybody watching, in case this doesn't make sense, this is because of a bug in how we implemented the animations, and it eventually will fix it. This is just kind of a hack for now.
Yeah, but this will still work once we fix it too.
Yeah.
All right. And now for this one, we want to move left, so it should be -2, 0. And let's try this out. I messed something up.
What is going on, bro? Could they be colliding? Because I think 25 is less than the minimum frame length.
Oh, it could be.
I think it ends up being like 30 milliseconds usually. Yeah.
All right. We're just going to be able to walk through walls.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Could
Maybe
we
can
add
fix
in
it
like?
later.
Okay.
So we could fix it by doing a check.
Hmm.
So we could go into the scene category, use the direction, and then check the row, column and row,
That's
in
actually
whatever
not
direction
bad,
we're
is
moving.
it?
Yeah, I could do that real quick.
It's just
Instead of animating, could you just change the X or the Y
Mhm.
by an amount?
Still
So
need
that'll
to then.
that'll still let us teleport through walls.
I mean, don't we bump if you're like 2 pixels into a wall?
Oh, you mean do the for loop? But
Oh.
with the next.
Yeah.
That would work.
Well, you were doing the for loop anyway.
Yeah.
But
Gotcha. So
or we could check.
I could actually do repeat 16 times, change by 1. But I think this is going to actually run into issues though, because my sprite is not exactly 16 by 16. Whatever. We're just going to do it this way for now. Okay. So let's do this if, and I'm going to go into scene. We're going to do a is hitting wall. Wait, not that. We want to do tile to
Left of.
I think it's
right
in the
above
tile
the
map
wall.
package.
what? Did we not get this
Wait,
into this
isn't
release?
it that one? The one right above hitting wall?
No.
But you
That's
can
not
have like
wall,
a
that's
wall. Yeah.
Specific
No,
tile.
the one above it. Tile to the left
Oh.
of my sprite is.
A tile, not a wall.
Yeah.
You're right.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and add the tile map extension, which is going to make this code much simpler anyway.
Mhm.
So to add the tile map extension, it's Microsoft/tile maps. Is that right?
PXT tile.
PXT tile maps, yeah.
TXT tile maps. There we go. Let me go ahead and add this. This adds a bunch of very useful blocks for dealing with tile maps. And it adds another category down here. And the reason that this is going to make this much easier is because, one, we have this tile at location is wall. And then also because we have a way for getting the tile that is next to the location of our sprite. So we have this location of my sprite. And we have another block, which is location direction of location. So we can say the location left of my sprite is wall. So tile at location left of the location of the sprite is wall, which is going to make this check way easier because this would have been a lot of math without the tile map extension. All right. Let's go back to our movement function. And for this one, we're moving down. So what we want to do is, and I'm going to need a not. Let me go ahead and get a not out of the logic because we want to do it only if it's not a wall. So I'm going to change this to be sprite. I'm going to put all of this in a not. And I'm going to change left to be top because we're moving up. Now, let me do this for the other directions. So we're moving right. So we'll change this to right. This one is down, so bottom. And this one is left. And let's test this code out. Cool. Perfect. We do have a bug, though, which is I'm able to get off the grid in certain places. You guys can see that. And the easy way to do this, the reason that that's happening is because we're able to have overlapping handlers kind of going at the same time with these button presses. And I think they're either canceling the other animations or they're just interfering in weird ways. So to make this run a little smoother, what we can do is use QStoryPart. And we are going to have to add a pause to this QStoryPart, which is going to be equal to the walk animation time. So this will ensure that we only walk one tile at a time. And if I mash the buttons, I can't get into invalid state. So it looks like I'm still getting a little bit off.
It might just be the implementation of animations because we got a little bit off in the battle screen too after a bunch of attacks.
Oh, yeah?
That's one of our bugs to fix. But
Yeah.
I think it's delightful.
Oh, that the enemy.
Okay,
is
well then I
running away
actually
slightly.
I have another way to fix this, which is I'm actually going to get rid of this QStoryPart. And what I'm going to do is inside of scene, I'm going to place my sprite on top of
Oh my goodness.
the
tile that is
location.
on. Yeah.
What a trick.
Right. And this is going to correct it for us because it'll always center it on whatever tile it's supposed to be on. Cool. So I can no longer get off the grid.
They're always tracking you now.
Yeah. One thing though is I get some weird stuff happening when I press a bunch of the same button at a time.
Do you want the story part still?
I don't think I actually need the QStoryPart now that I'm thinking about it. I think I can just make a variable that is walking. Or actually, I should set this on the sprite. So let me go into sprite data. And we're going to set a Boolean. So let me go ahead and get the set in addition to the get, which I just got. And we want to set on the sprite data walking to Boolean true. And then what we're going to do at the end of this is set it to false again. So let's go ahead. And now what we can do is if the sprite is walking, we can bail out of this function. And I'm going to use the same return trick I used before. So let's go ahead and grab an if statement, put it up at the top. Say if sprite data walking as Boolean is true, then go into functions, grab a return, and then I'm going to press this minus because we don't want to return anything.
Is this a mutex?
Not sorta, I guess. Sorta. All right, cool. We've got this nice little move on the grid, and it actually wasn't that much code. I got to say, when I was planning to do this stream today, I figured this was going to be a ton of code. So I'm glad that it actually ended up being pretty compact.
Pretty compact.
All right, throwing shade. Okay.
I think that's as well implemented as it can be right now.
I think this. Okay. Yeah. Let's go ahead
Better than
and
my method.
add some scene checks here because I don't want to call this sprite walk when we're inside of a battle. So I'm going to drag out a logic block here. And I believe the scene that we ended up the scene name that we gave for the overworld was just Overworld. So I should be able to check that. Though I haven't set Overworld to be at like the beginning of the game yet, so I will have to do that in a second. If scene equals Overworld. And let's do that. I remembered to copy and paste before placing it this time, so I didn't have to delete the block a bunch of times.
Nice.
Cool. And now, if I go back to my game, it's not going to move at all because I haven't set our scene to be Overworld yet. And let's go into our open Overworld function. And at the top here, we're going to call our function that we made last stream, which was change scene. And we're going to change the scene to be Overworld. People who watched our stream yesterday will remember that we put this in as a placeholder. It's pretty good, though. I got to say, this is making me wish that we had a refrigerator.
Refrigerator function.
You can make a refrigerator function. Nobody will blame you.
I'm gonna keep this one around, but it's just gonna be on the workspace.
Okay, that works.
All right. So we've got our overworld. We can walk around. Let's start making some random encounters. So we want to be able to encounter Sucromon when we are in the grass, I think. Does that sound good to everybody?
I usually find
the
best candy in the grass, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we could have made this world some sort of weird bakery, but it's a little late for that. We should have thought of that before the stream last week.
We can add in candy shops and stuff later.
Okay.
Actually, maybe that's a bad idea in the Sucromon world.
Well,
that'd be
Pet
kinda
shops.
weird. Yeah, that makes it feel better.
It holds up.
All right. So the nice thing about having our centralized walk function here is that after we do the walk, we can go ahead and go into our scene and check if the tile that we're on is grass or not. So I'm going to do if tile to, yeah, no, this is fine. I can put this after the set it to false. So if the tile to the center of Sprite is the grass tile I drew, then we want to maybe start an encounter. And so I think what we're going to do is we're going to create a function which is get random encounter. And yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so what this is going to do is it's going to do some logic to figure out if we are going to get into an encounter or not. And it's also going to return the Sucromon that we're going to be in a battle against. So right now, because I want to be able to kind of show off the full thing, let's just make it a simple % chance. So let's do like a 50% chance. And
Okay, we were all nodding, but you can't see that.
yeah,
50%
you guys
That's good.
got to speak up because I cannot see anybody while I'm coding. So if 50% chance, we want to return I guess let's call a create Sucromon. And we'll probably, right now I'm just going to hard code it to be one Sucromon, but we can, in the future, make it a little more random. So let's call create Sucromon. We're going to do take out this my image. Oh no, it's a shadow. I can't take it out. Grab an image block, put it over it, and what should we do?
Ham.
No.
Okay. The dessert
Ham?
world.
Well, we're out of desserts. Oh, okay.
Coney.
Is this gonna work? Do you have a way to return undefined?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But I can do it.
Yeah.
All right. This nonsense I wrote right here is nonsense, but it's a way to get around the thing that I just encountered. So I want to be able to possibly return nothing in the case where we don't find a Sucromon. And normally, if I do this, the function is going to get mad at me because I'm not always returning a value. 50% of the time, I'll return create Sucromon, but 50% of the time, it's going to go down here, and there's no return down here. So if I see this right here, not all code paths return a value. We put this warning in here because usually you do want to return something in all cases. It's good practice to at least have a return that returns the value that you'll get if you don't hit whatever % chance we have. So to do that, I want to return nothing. And the way to get nothing inside of blocks is to take an empty array and get the value at 0. Our array is empty, so there is nothing at 0. So this is going to return nothing. In JavaScript terms, this will return undefined. But in block terms, you can just think of it as returning nothing. All right, let's go back to our walk function. Was that a good explanation of that, guys?
Yeah. I guess also just worth noting, this is another one of those things where it's a hack to get around something that we just don't have fully implemented properly yet.
You can totally implement this, though. I think we made a choice not to put undefined in the editor.
I guess. Okay, yeah.
All right. So I'm going to create a variable called encounter, and I'm going to set this to the function we just made, which is get random encounter. And now I can go into logic and see if we got an encounter or not. So if I put this variable in here, if we returned nothing, then this will evaluate to be false. Okay, it's alphabetized. There we go. So this code will not execute. But if it returns something, Coney, then this code that we put in here will execute. And the code I want to do is inside of scene, we had, not scene, inside of functions, we had a start battle. And we're going to start our battle with the encounter as the second argument. And the first argument is going to be whatever Sucromon is first in our party. So we have an array which is called Sucromon team, if I remember correctly.
I forget. Did we ever implement the thing to get the first healthy Sucromon in the party? Or was that one of the things we haven't done yet?
We have not done it.
Okay.
Unless Daryl, I'm trying to think. I don't think so. I think when we were doing the switcher, we just had it so that you could like see all the health.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So this worked. We started a battle. Yeah, it looks pretty good to me. Well, what's happening here is we have a camera in our tile map. This camera tells the game engine what part of the screen to draw, because we have a lot of stuff that's happening, elsewhere. So we need to be able to draw things that are in the world and draw things that are out of the world, if that makes sense. The out of the world things would be all of the sprites we're making for the battle. So there are a few ways we could do this. One thing we could do is we could just center the camera on 0, 0 when we go into a battle. And you know what? I think that's what I'm going to do, because I think that's the easiest.
If you set camera and I'll see if this works. I'm not sure.
What? It should work, right?
Does it remove the camera follow? I don't remember. We'll see.
Oh.
I don't know that center camera at override explicitly overrides camera follow, but
Okay. Well, I can fix that by making it follow something else. So I'm going to create a sprite, and this is going to be an invisible sprite that we're going to call camera anchor. So by default, all sprites start in the center of the screen. So this camera anchor is going to go ahead and make sure that our sprite will, if we change our center to be this, it's going to be centered on the center of the screen, which will be up here because we have a tile map that actually goes, way up here. So it should be right here. All right, let's do that real quick. So inside of the change scene function, what I want to do is first I'm going to go into tile maps and go into scene, and I'm going to change our tile map to be blank. So let me add another case to this if statement. Whoops, else if. We say, if the scene we're coming from is Overworld, then we want to set the tile map to blank. And we want to center the camera, or camera follow, on our camera anchor. All right, so let's try this out real quick.
We don't call it change scene, I think.
Oh, inside of start battle? Oh, okay. Let me go ahead and fix that real quick. It's find the code. All right, here we go. So instead of this set scene here at the bottom, what I'm going to do is get this out here, get rid of that. And at the top of this function, I'm going to call our change scene function. So that should be
at the bottom.
Thank you.
This is a Vivian function.
And this should be battle mode. All right, let's try that now. Whoops. All right, let's try it again. Oh, I know what's happening.
Yeah, we're entering maybe start battle mode and then battle mode.
Yeah, so we'll do start battle mode, and we're going to put a Q story part at the end, which is going to put it into actual battle mode. So what was happening there was I was pressing buttons, and the same exception we were getting at the beginning of the stream was happening again. So we don't create the battle menu until this, whatever story part. So that's always going to fail until we go into the, if we press one of the buttons while we're in battle mode, but we haven't called this yet. So we need to make sure that we set that, the scene to be battle mode after we create the battle menu. Okay, let's try again. Awesome. Cool. So let's go ahead and make sure that we move our other sprite to be in the right location, because it looks like we were doing that in the on start and not in the start battle. So that'll be right here. I'm going to call our function move Sucromon.
Pass.
We should really alphabetize these.
Are they not alphabetized? Oh.
No, they're not.
No, functions are in order of creation.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna move enemy Sucromon to, I think it is 120, 30. But we're going to go over to the OnStart to make sure I got that right. 130, 20.
30.
So close. All right. And while I'm thinking about it, let's go ahead and do our last thing, which is at the end of our battle, I know that we were changing the scene to be overworld somewhere. We don't want to do that. We actually want to call open overworld because that's going to have all of our overworld, initialization code. Mm-hmm. Oh, and one other thing I'm going to do real quick is move this set overworld player out. And we're going to have to hide it and stuff, but let's see. That happened at the end of the catch, I think.
Mm-hmm. Catch should be bottom left stuff.
Here we go.
Yeah. Do we need both to destroy things from the battle?
Well, open overworld changes the scene.
Ah, okay.
So should take care of it. The other thing I'm going to do while I'm thinking about it is, so we're setting the tile map to be this, and we're doing the camera follow sprite to be camera anchor, but we also want to make sure that we set the player sprite to be invisible. So I'm going to go ahead and drag out our set flags right here, and I want to change this to be overworld player sprite. If someone could start humming the ABCs every time I open that. That was a joke. Please don't actually do that. All right.
It doesn't help there. That's not alphabetical. Or invisible isn't.
Okay. And now we need to drag this over to our open overworld and make sure we set it to be false again. And also, we'll need to fix this. Oh, I know what to do. Okay. So we're creating our overworld player in the onStart because I just moved it there. But actually, let's go ahead and create it inside of this function if you're on there for the first time. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a not here, and we're going to say if the overworld player doesn't exist. So if not overworld player, then we want to create them, and we want to place them on top of a door. But we only want to do this the first time, because otherwise we're just going to, hide it. Okay, let's try all this out. All right, let's go ahead and get the Coney's health down. Whoa, that was a good hit. Yeah, I don't want to defeat it. So let's go ahead and do a catch.
Ooh.
No.
Way to miss.
Oh.
Wait.
Whoa.
Let's try catching again.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should go over to the catch function and see if we can figure out what's going on here.
Bad luck.
Oh, it's a rigged game.
Do you think it's rigged?
Oh no.
I think it's checking.
You got it.
Got it. Nice.
Okay. So we got some invisible making.
All right. Let's go ahead and figure out what's happening in that catch screen. Okay, so let's go to our catch function, which I think was right here.
Let's see. Oh, after it exited to the overworld again, did anybody notice, did it maintain the same position? I was curious if that would work or not.
I think so, because we went right into another battle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we didn't move the kitten, so it didn't merge it into the new space in the time map. Perfect.
Okay, so I see what's happening here. We're using this other Sucromon variable, but we're not setting it inside of the other inside of the start battle. So let's go there and do that real quick. Oh, no, yes, we are. Set current Sucromon to be my Sucromon. Set other Sucromon to be enemy Sucromon. All right, never mind. That's not it. So it's only going weird if the catch is not successful. So we're destroying Sucrorb. We're setting invisible off. Printing, oh no, it didn't work. This should be inside of a queue dialog part. Or queue story part. Then we're calling the wild Sucromon move, and then we are changing the scene to be last scene. Instead of doing that, though, I think I'm just going to make it battle mode. Because that's what it should be, right?
Mm-hmm. Can we see wild Sucromon move real quick?
Yeah, let's go find that.
That would be the.
This will be in it.
Oh,
no. All right. Let's see. Battle fight wild Sucromon move. Oh no.
More to-dos.
All right.
Now this is referring to other Sucromon.
Okay,
Right.
So animate other Sucromon minus other Sucromon attack, animation time, and then we call check battle end. All right, well, let's see if we can get a little more information by seeing exactly what is happening. All right, so I'm gonna do catch. It's gonna fail because it has full health.
Maybe just use the debugger now.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing to
Can we
do.
look at the change? Yeah, debugger's probably good. It looks like it's changing scene to the original.
I think I know what's happening, actually.
Mm-hmm.
We'll use the debugger in a second, but so I think we actually want to put this outside of a queue story part. Because this wild Sucromon move queues a story part.
Oh,
right?
So it was
It's
queued
already
after the
wrapped.
change? Okay.
Yeah, so it was getting double wrapped. And this check battle should be in here. Okay, let's try this real quick, and if it doesn't work, we'll go to the debugger. Oh, whoops.
Wait.
No.
Great.
Oh, because you have it.
Okay. Weird stuff happens regardless of which. All right. Wild Coney appears. Go get him, Donutso. Still happening.
So it's happening after the wild Sucromon move.
Yeah.
What's in battle end?
Oh, I know what it's doing. It's doing. Where is the change scene function?
To the bottom left and then to the right.
It's setting all Sucromon to be visible. So this should be only for other Sucromon. And current Sucromon, right?
I don't think we hide current Sucromon.
Current should already.
Yeah, but whatever. I'm just gonna do it.
Right. And then I don't think you want to destroy the text.
Yeah. Where should that have been? Oh, I think that we're missing a case here.
No, I think that should have been in the exiting.
We don't
You're
have a
right.
battle mode one. So let's go ahead and add a battle mode case.
Yeah.
Got to make sure you spell this right. And now we want to destroy the background cover if it exists, because we might go directly from catch mode to no, actually that's fine. So we want to hide all of the Sucromon. So let's go ahead and loop over all of kind again. I wish I hadn't deleted it. Nope, not in tile maps. It's a weird place to look.
It's because it's such a nice color to click on and you want to see what's in there.
Oh,
Yeah,
don't you have that
and I am a
destroy
fan of
all
seafoam
kind?
green.
Yeah, you had the destroy all of kind in here. That might be
We're
what
not
you're thinking.
destroying.
We don't want to destroy it.
I know we don't want to. That might have been why you opened tile maps, is what I was thinking.
No, that was not on my mind.
Okay.
I was just being a dummy. Okay, so show hide value true, I think, is hide. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we also want to destroy all of kind. Now I'm looking for that. We want to destroy all of the battle menu text. All right. Should we give this a shot? We're almost out of time. So maybe we should also do outros now. All right. Ooh. Right.
Right. Also, going to battle mode from, or
Yeah.
going to Overworld from battle mode.
Yeah, we need to check both because you have.
Yeah. Or rather, what should be happening is, I guess, when we go back to battle mode, we should recreate, right?
Sure.
Anyway, we're gonna run out of time here, so we'll probably finish this game up on Monday, or who knows? Maybe we'll go a little longer.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm Richard, at Richard on the MakeCode forum.
I'm Joey, at JWonderl on the MakeCode forums.
I'm Shannon at Shakao on the MakeCode forums.
And I'm Vivian at LiveTriff on the MakeCode forums.
And thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for MakeCode in the Kitchen, which Jacqueline will be hosting.
Ooh.